it is going to finally study time also kind of becomes your screen time download books for free, which is kind of bulky. It's not the best pencil. It looks tempting, a luxury rather than a necessity. I have like more brains, the pros and cons. Be so organized, everything that you need. Hello everyone, I am Asmi. In case you're new here, I am a second year MBBS student. So I have posted like 2 or 3 videos about having an iPad or how I use my iPad in my MBBS studies, and I've got so many questions, and it's safe to say that those videos are the best working videos on my channel. So I thought, why not, let's just sit down, relax, have your coffee, and I'm going to answer all the questions that I got in those videos. So this video is going to be very well structured. I have like all the questions and everything that I'm going to discuss written down here. First, I'm going to discuss about my iPad. The second most asked question was if you really need an iPad, the pros and cons of having an iPad. Do you really need Apple or Android would work? And the last one would be how actually I use my iPad and all the apps and all the websites that you need to download your books in here. Starting off, the iPad in question. This is Cookie. Yes, I named it. I love it very much. I got this a month before going for my college. That was August of 2023. So this month marks 2 years of me having this iPad, and as you can see, this is the 9th generation, 10 inches, 10.2 inches I think, and storage is 256 GB. The person there told us that if you only need it for your college studies, for reading the book and stuff, then you do not necessarily need pro version, and also budget. I also got this is the first gen pencil. If I have to suggest you right now to get an iPad, I will say do not go for the 9th generation because it supports the first generation pencil, which is kind of bulky. It's not the best pencil. It's a little heavier than Gen 2 pencil. So go for the 10th version, or you can also go for Pro. I'm not very into technical stuff. I cannot really tell you what is the difference, what big difference does the Pro version or these 9th and 10th generation makes. But yeah, it works. It has been working fine for me for like 2 years. I think it is going to final year with me. So the storage, let me tell you, I have so many OTT platforms in here, so many editing apps, and all my second and first year books in here, and I still have pretty much a lot of space left. So I think 256 GB is enough. Anything below that will not really work a lot. I do not have cloud storage yet. I've not needed it as of now, so I don't think I'm going to invest on cloud storage right now. That I really like about my iPad is the size. As I told you, this is like 10.2 inches, the button and the sidebar. For me, I think it works the best. I've seen other people having like really big screens. It looks tempting, it looks very nice, but when it comes to carrying it around the campus, having it in your book, or like, I am personally a person who like takes this in my hand and I roam around the campus and when I study. So this is like very comfortable for me. So I will also suggest people to get it. Max 11 or 12 inches. Most asked question was, should you go for a laptop or do you need a tablet? It actually boils down to how do you plan to use it. Like for me, it was that I wanted to read books, I wanted to take notes. So you can obviously do the same on your laptop, but I think having a tablet or an iPad makes you closer to your notes and books. It's like the closest you can get to paperback. You can make your own notes, you can edit the files, you can edit the books. It's not just like reading from a distance, it's actually like reading a normal book. So I personally prefer that. So the most asked question, just because I have an iPad, I did not mean to tell you that you need an iPad. You actually don't. I'm going to be very honest. Having an iPad or a tablet, or for say even a laptop, is a luxury rather than a necessity. You do not necessarily need that. I do not mean to say that if you do not have it, you will not be able to study. It for sure will make your studying way easier, organizing your stuff very easy, but it's not like if you do not have it, you cannot work without it. On top of that, I have an iPad because I personally wanted an iPad. It's the Apple thing that I wanted. I'm going to be very honest. I did not look or researched a lot before getting this stuff. Now that I have a little more brains, and now that I'm suggesting you, I will say, if you do not have that much of a budget, and if you do not fancy it a lot, a tablet, a Samsung tablet, a Lenovo tablet will do exactly the same job. Now that we have gone down the road of being honest, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of having an iPad. So starting with the cons, the first one and the most important one is, if you're going to download your books in here, if you're going to read from here, then make sure that your screen time is very less, and which I know is not possible. Your screen time apart from your study time is going to be a lot, and then your study time also kind of becomes your screen time. You see this? It's not that I got it after having an iPad, and I've noticed that compared to studying from book, if you're studying from an iPad, if you're studying from any screen for that matter, you will exhaust yourself earlier. I feel like that I get exhausted. I feel like I cannot do this anymore if I'm doing it with iPad, and I think it's very obvious why that happens, because it's continuous eye strain. Then you also have a solution. I borrowed books from my senior, so the anatomy was the only subject that I was studying completely from my iPad. Other than that, physiology and biochemistry I was reading from the book. Even though I thought I would make notes on my iPad, I realized I like making notes better in paper and pens. That's also something I do out of my iPad. So even though this thing is a lot of help in studying, I still try to do a lot of it out of the screen. Coming to the pros, number one is you will be so organized. All my second year and first year books, files, the practical stuff, all those PDFs that our teachers gave us, everything, I have everything on my iPad. I like having things very organized. So if it was not for my iPad, I would have printed those PDFs out and then kept it in files with me. So I think having an iPad really works for me. Now moving on to the last part of the video, how do I actually use my iPad? I use my iPad for studying, watching Netflix, all the OTTs, and also for editing. So I'm going to stick with the studying part. The most used app for studying is GoodNotes. The lifetime subscription, which was I think was 3,000, otherwise it's like 1,000 per year. I saw so many people use this app, and I have to tell you, this is the best, most note-taking app. This is obviously not sponsored, so I'm being very honest here. Second app is the Forest app. I again use it a lot. I am more of a person who loves to have tabs of how much I am studying. It kind of keeps me motivated. I think GoodNotes is everything that you need. Make notes here, you can organize your notes on files, you can import anything in there. So I think you do not actually need any other app for studying other than GoodNotes. The next question that I got a lot was, how do I download books for free? So I have a short video out. I do not remember the website because it keeps on changing. I have mentioned the website in the video, so you can go check that out. It definitely works. And in case it does not work for you, you can let me know in the comments down below, and I will look for an alternative. So I hope I answered most of the questions, if not all. I think these were all the important points that you needed to know before you go out and buy yourself something for your college. And yeah, I'm hoping this will help you figure out what you actually need. And if there is something else you want to ask me, please feel free to comment down below, and I will answer it right away. Okay, so yeah, I think that is it.